Clocks in villages and city would not have been unified, instead used the sundials, and the notion of the global time zones would not have existed. Without it, the world would have lacked the first truly synchronized systems, a network that taught humans to measure time collectively, to manage logistics at a scale never seen before, to move in rhythm. Cultural diversity too would have remained largely local. Towns would have stayed insular, unvisited, unchallenged by the arrival of strangers and ideas. Migration would have been limited only to explorers, adventurers, and elitists. Engineering innovations would have lacked. We would be still living in the 18th century crucible. The metallurgical development, civil engineering, infrastructure designs, scheduling, safety systems, and then later on electricity, telecommunication, they would have been still in the 18th century. Without it, industrial organization would have remained fragmented. The modern factory systems and the science of systems management might have arrived centuries late. In its absence, the world would have remained a slower, smaller, and a more divided place. One where distance still rules destiny. So it's a machine of modernity. You guessed it, we are talking about the railways.
You are listening to 93.9 Dublin South FM.
Broadcasting from the Dundrum Town Centre, this is Dublin South FM.
Yes, today we are celebrating 200 years of railways, the art, the science and the philosophy of railways, which transformed humans. Rather, it helped humans evolve at a higher pace than the Darwinian theory would have predicted. The railways, by contrast, has dethroned geographies, compressed time, and trained humanity to think in a concept of networks. Without railways, the modern mind, disciplined, connected, and restless, might never have been born. Had the railway not been discovered in the September of 1825, humanity's trajectory would have been profoundly slower, not merely in speed, but in evolution itself. Therefore, in its celebration, we are saying that railways are not just a machine of transport, but a gigantic step in the development of human civilization. And in this celebration, we explore quickly how rail has evolved and how it has shaped diversity from Tokyo to London, from Mumbai to New York, how it eradicates inequality with freedom. For example, look at Mumbai, how people from various states, especially Tamil Nadu in the 60s and 70s, Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, they have changed the economics of Mumbai. Today, nearly 1,000 families, as I'm told, they make Mumbai their home every day. And how Punjab has changed the genesis of Bollywood. They have all come from various parts of the country into one destination, Bombay, Mumbai. So Mumbai has turned into a mass urban culture, not only for India, but for the entire world. Mumbai railway network runs some 3,000 trains daily, and it actually serves, it mixes social, economically, 75 lakh passengers daily. Enormous sea and ocean of people move in and out of Mumbai every day. It's a backbone of metropolitan mobility. It's a backbone of regional integration, and it knits together vast regions. Not only in Mumbai itself, it is enabling migration, trade, and of course access. The history suggests the economic trajectory of Mumbai is vastly different and high-paced from the rest of the country. The discipline in the professional services is more organized in Mumbai because everybody in Mumbai have been tuned to a regulated and scheduled time run by railways. So in short, it has enabled mobility of labor, it has supported unified market, it has brought culture together, it has created diversity only to be positively contributing to India and to the world. Look at the Japanese train model. It is all about speed, integration, and intellectualism. How? In case of Greater Tokyo area and broader Japanese rail network, the railway system is deeply embedded into the daily life and it has an institutional culture. The network carries about 40 million trips a day in this 2,500 kilometers of track in the Tokyo region alone. And if you look at Shinkansen, the bullet train system, it has cut the travel time between Tokyo and Osaka, which was 8 hours then, to about 2.5 hours now. And what it has done is it has created a fast track corridor carrying about 350,000 Japanese and travelers daily. More so, the Japanese railway have brought in a culture of punctuality, of reliability, only to be copied and carried and emulated across the world. And talking of reliability, we should also be talking about the German and the French railways. The high-speed train between Berlin and Munich, it has reduced the travel time from 6 hours to 3.5 hours. So it's an integration of north and south of Germany. Not only has it carried people quickly and comfortably, it has supported regional wage equalizations. And over time, there is a great cultural mix between these formally separated regions of Germany. But then there is a deeper meaning to these railways. In the mid-19th centuries, these rail lines began knitting together the territories of not only Germany and France and the European countries, which were then or even now separated by mountains, languages, and a war histories. These railways have bound together. Example, Paris and Brussels line in 1846, when we were fighting the first Battle of Mutiny, the Vienna-Prague-Berlin corridor, and later on, in the imagination of human history, human integration, we come across Orient Express, which connected Paris to Istanbul. And this is not just commercial route, they were social corridors through which people, goods, and habits moved. Very few people would realize that the tulip gardens of Netherlands, the tulips, are originally from Turkey. So it's an integration, it's a movement of habits, and made possible by rail travel. And the Europeans to only experience what other societies have, something which everyone should see beyond the abstractions of diplomacy. So post-World War, we see the trans-European railway network coming together, and still further we see a high-speed link like Thales, Eurostar, ICE, TGV. They are connecting European cities and capitals, and ultimately, in short story, we see a European Union born, an integrated powerhouse, economic powerhouse, a cultural powerhouse, a social powerhouse born out of the integration which started much earlier in the 1850s. That is the strength the railways have given as a machine, as a tool to the human civilization. So overall, if you see, what was just a method to move coal from one place to another, some goods, farming produce from one place to another in Stockton to Darlington in United Kingdom, it has transformed the entire societies, giving humanity a freedom of choice. The presence of rail networks have expanded human senses, where you want to live, where you want to work, whom you want to meet, and how you can move. From Mumbai locals to high-speed trams in Japan and Germany, to intercity where students can cross over from the territorial boundaries to achieve their study goals. Remote communities joining hands with the mainstream of the nation. Railways have created human geographies. In India, post-colonial legacy, the aspirations of the country has been only enabled by the presence of railways. Therefore, if India has to make itself stronger, it has to invest in cheap, comfortable, fast railways. If it has to compete with the global forces, it has to make mobility of Indians and the Indian ideas easier and faster. If India has to stay peaceful with its neighbor, it has to open many more railway corridors with countries like Pakistan and Bangladesh. Because that is when people of both countries will just cross over like they do in Belgium and France, Belgium and Netherlands and Germany, just to go for shopping, just to go for celebrations, to eat out, just to go and watch football matches. We want to go to Lahore to watch the cricket match. Many from Pakistan want to come into Amritsar or New Delhi. If India has to be stronger, we have to invest in this human space, because with more travel comes more wisdom, and with that comes more intellectualism. So there is this famous Chinese proverb. It says, it is better to travel 10,000 miles than to read 10,000 books. With that inspiration, with that celebration, I leave you until next week. Stay safe, stay informed, keep traveling, and dutifully ask questions. Bye for now.
Everything's fine on 93.9 Dublin South FM.